How many hearts have you broken with those great big beautiful eyes? Those great big beautiful eyes that tell such beautiful lies.
How many times have you kissed somebody like you kissed me then? I don't.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and all ships at sea. We interrupt this broadcast to bring you an important message from the Prepared Mind Network.
Hell yes, we're going to take your AR-15, your AK-47. We're not going to allow it to be used against our fellow Americans anymore. Hell yes, hell yes, hell yes, we're going to take your AR-15. Hell yes, your AK-47. Hell yes, we're going to take your AR-15.
Oh, hell no!
Hell yes, we're not going to allow it to be used against our fellow Americans anymore.
Well, I hope everyone enjoyed this. A little reminder. A major ass whooping is coming for anyone who wants it. Hey, everyone. It is the Prepared Mind channel, and it is Monday. Welcome to the bunker. Tuna and spam at my side. Are you ready for what this week is going to bring us, folks? There's nothing. Everything is on the table. Nothing is free. Nothing is safe. Not when these scumbag liberals are around us. Now, I find it incredible that people want to criticize my language, criticize the subject matter, criticize the talking that we have. This is nothing. We're discussing things that are actually happening, that actually matter. If anyone should be offended, it's you. You normal Americans, you normies, you tax-paying Americans working your asses off, you who have got bled, sweated, and everything else, given your all for this country, you should be offended at what they in Washington are doing. Unbelievable. I'm tired of them going, well, I'm offended at you, John. I don't give a fuck anymore about what they think. In fact, I don't think I've given a fuck in quite a while. I've got a nice stockpile of fucks because I don't just give them out anymore. Anyways, welcome back. Now let's start with this. This is appropriate coming from Democrat Liz Lying Hontus Warren. The media is calling it a backdoor gun grab. You know, these Democrats like taking it in the back door. That's for sure. But it's another way to try and curtail and steal your rights. Oh, I'm sure that Liz Lying Hontus, the fake Native American Warren, and the other socialist scum in the Senate think they're being sneaky. What they're trying to do is put background checks on ammunition purchases. And they want to require registration, all sorts of other crap, I'm sure of it. They want extra taxes, make it difficult. Bulk sales not allowed, and they want to criminalize middlemen buyers. That is to say, people who buy ammunition and then sell it to someone else. Now you're a middleman. Since when can commerce of an unregulated item be criminalized? Well, this particular statute would do just that. They want to criminalize otherwise non-criminal activity. Meanwhile, they'll let up to $1,000 per visit at your local pharmacy, retail outlet theft from these homeless scumbags out there who the moment you try stopping them will lay on the floor and scream, racist, racist, you're a racist for stopping me. $1,000 a visit, folks. They can go into one store, steal $1,000 and walk. Go into another store, steal $1,000 and walk. Go into another store and steal $1,000 and walk. All day long. I'm in the wrong fucking business, you know it? I'm out there making an honest fucking living. I had to knock this shit off. Anyways, back to Liz Lying Hontus Warren. They're pushing, folks, legislation for background checks on ammo. Now, Here's what she has to say for her lying ass. She says, we have a moral responsibility to treat gun violence in this country like the crisis it is. Yeah, that's what her news release is. Fuck you, bitch. The crisis that exists, gun violence, can be curtailed by taking violent criminals and keeping them in jail. How about taking someone who is a violent criminal and locking them up so they can't continue to commit acts of violence and escalate their acts? It's assault one day, robbery the next, assault and battery, grand theft, and then fuck it, let's just go all the way to murder. That's what these people think. Well, if you're not going to punish me, I may as well keep fucking doing it. And that's what these people in the stores do. Meanwhile, you have to pay more taxes. Well, I tell you what. I say that we, you and me, we have a responsibility, a moral responsibility to treat gun violence in this country like the crime it is. The crime it is. And I think that we have a responsibility to expose communist anti-Americans as traitors. It is a crisis that needs immediate attention. Let's see, you punish traitors and you punish criminal behavior. That'll do it. Ooh-man checks in. He says, howdy, folks. A few minutes late, but I made it. Hope y'all are having a good start to the week. Of course, Ooh-man. How could we not? I knew you were coming. My spidey senses told me. Anyways, here it is, Pocahontas. I just found it. I just saw the words that are going to help you figure it out. Shall not be infringed. That should fix it right there. That should do it. And ammunition is not a gun or a weapon, but it is a constituent part of the self-defense tools and the Second Amendment. Right? It's an unregulated part of our Second Amendment right. So fuck off Democrats and fuck off DC. And I don't want to forget the World Economic Forum and the United Nations too. Now remember this, folks. And I need you to think about this very carefully. Very carefully. Very, very, very carefully. All of the people I just mentioned, Democrats, Washington, D.C., which includes rhino Republicans, bureaucrats, the World Economic Forum, the United Nations, Europe, China, Australia, and every other country out there, they hate your Second Amendment right because they are institutions that want more power and they want to give you less power. And the Second Amendment is power. It is your ability to increase your power, your ability to protect yourself, others, and defend the country. And if they can, they would steal that from you. The same way government has stolen me and you, our ability to be vigilant. Recall our discussion. Vigilant out there on the streets. And be vigilantes and protect the streets. Be vigilant and protect others. Pay attention, right? Vigilant. Why is vigilant a good word, but vigilante isn't? Because government has made it a dirty word. It is not. And the Second Amendment is part and parcel to being vigilant about our freedoms, liberty, government, and vigilant about crime. Crime. So it would just stand to reason. It would make sense, would it not? That you and I would be the number one reason criminals quit committing crime. And the police have always been there, folks. They've always been there. Their job has always been to file a police report. That's right. After citizens protect each other and themselves, the police can show up, clean up the mess, and file a report about what happened. Instead, now the police say you cannot be a vigilante. And they show up, see a criminal scene, and they arrest the person who has protected others. The person who is vigilant about the Constitution, freedom, liberty in this country is the one who gets arrested? Bullshit. There needs to be a fucking law right now, pow, somewhere started, that says when a citizen makes an arrest, when a citizen stops a crime, that's a good thing. And all manner of forgiveness and grace needs to be afforded to that person for protecting others. You want to talk about changing a criminal's attitude when he walks down the street? Fuck, now they're fucking rewarding people practically. And free people should be rewarded, folks, and congratulated for stopping crime. All too often, I've read about this guy or that girl kicking the living shit out of someone or blasting their fucking brains out, right? They save lives. And people are like, yeah, we need more of that. And that person needs a medal and a reward. No shit. And then when you hear about someone protecting themselves and saving others and they get arrested, you're like, what the fuck is that all about? That's government. People with the mentality of Liz Warren saying, oh, no. You're not allowed to protect yourself and others. Well, go fuck yourself, Liz. And you can take your tax and shove it in your ass and see how that spends at the government level. I don't have any respect for them, folks. They deserve no respect. They have earned no respect. You want evidence? You want proof? I'll give it to you right now. There's a series of videos out. That's right. The January 6th videos are being released. Thank you, MAGA Mike Johnson. And by the way, you're not done. Get the rest of them out, bastard. We're not playing fucking games. I don't want them trickled out. Get them out there and then go impeach Biden. I'm not fucking around. Are you prepared? Right? Are you prepared? Food, water, shelter, clothing, medicine. Ooh, that one, self-defense. Big, important stuff. Anyways, it's important. There's a video series out. Evidence that the police are not always your good buddies. No. It shows this January 6th footage. Police and government agents, folks, using rubber bullets, explosives, like flashbang grenades and chemical sprays without any warning to the crowd. No warnings like, please disperse or we'll have to use chemical agents. And, no. There's no warning to disperse. The police attacked Americans. Innocent Americans. Remember Kent State when National Guard shot students for protesting? Well, J6, the police murdered 4 Americans. You bet. That's murder. Protesting is not a capital offense that allows cops to just kill people. But they did. They did. Rosalind Boyle, folks. And all those J6ers that are arrested, thrown in prison to rot with no trial, all of their constitutional rights violated because, well, Washington, D.C. isn't under the United States Constitution. It was created by the Constitution, but they don't have to play by those rules. What a stupid fucking thing to say. I tell you, folks, the fight is on. Are you prepared, folks? It is madness out there. Now, it goes both ways a little bit. And I want to give you some good news because I don't want to be just Mr. Bad News. I don't want to hear this, oh, you're all bad news all the time, John. That's all you do, talking about. Well, folks, we're fighting back. And a federal appeals court has bitch-slapped Judge Chutkan. Remember, she is the bitch who's gone after Trump and tried silencing him, saying, your right to free speech is not absolute. Well, guess what? The federal appeals court said that Trump's unconstitutional gag order will be narrowed. Probably so that he can only discuss things that are very pertinent to the case. That's it. So fuck you, Judge Chutkan, chunk ass. Right? The government isn't God, and your words demand immediate reprisals from lawyers and patriots. It is time, folks, not to be violent, not to start shooting. It is time to be prepared and to start speaking up. I am trying, I swear to God, every day, I try and inspire people to speak up. I'm sick of being nice to these scumbags. They are violating our rights. As far as I'm concerned, they have completely trashed and ignored their oaths. They are traitors to this country, traitors to the Constitution, traitors to all things that we know are good. Our customs, our traditions, our laws, our way of life. They're lying fuckwads. And aren't you pissed off and tired of them? I mean, if you stopped, they would keep coming at you and steal the money out of your bank account, kick you out of your house, and turn your children into sex toys. Speak up. And I know you are, folks. I know you are. I'm still going to be all inspirational and shit, though. But I know you're speaking up because we're seeing small victories here and there. Here and there. And it's worldwide, too. It's worldwide. I want to remind everyone that down in Argentina, Javier Milei, I can't say his name right, Milei, is now the anti-socialist leader. He is the conservative leader. And I'm not saying he's a George Washington, but good God, he's not a communist or a socialist. He's an anti-socialist. And he vows that he's going to rebuild Argentina. And guess what else? He is calling for Trump 2024. Damn right, folks. Support non-globalists. Do it. Stand up. That's some good news, right? That's some good news there. Well, I'll tell you what, folks. Here's some more good news. In Missouri, the Attorney General there, right? The Attorney General there, his name is Bailey. He basically has told Elon Musk that he's investigating Media Matters. Now, Elon Musk said he is going to launch a full-scale nuclear lawsuit against Media Matters for what they've done. And the Attorney General for the state of Missouri, Bailey, he noticed a potential crime that Media Matters has committed by creating accounts to discredit the ex-Twitter social media app. And he said, quote, "My team is looking into this matter." Good. And Elon Musk is going after them, right? Media Matters has sought to control, folks, our public free speech on social media in every way they can. And what they've done is they've gone after advertisers and pressured them, bullied them so that they pull their ads when it comes to conservative content. And what that has done is platforms like, well, Twitter, YouTube, they have cracked down on right-wing free speech. Right? They also target, Media Matters does, websites and remove advertisers and funding by pointing out to those institutions, hey, this guy is a conservative and he's saying this and that, and Media Matters all over the place. Well, that is illegal, folks. That's interfering with other people. That's intentionally taking action to ruin their finances, their income streams. So I want to say this to the Attorney General for the state of Missouri and every other state in this country. Well. How long, Attorney Generals? How long, District Attorneys? Until you guys see that shadow banning, deplatforming, and defunding of conservative YouTubers is also a crime, since it is hurting people financially. I really hope Elon Musk wins against Media Matters. And then they go after every company out there who is hurting conservative free speech by removing and shadow banning us, hiding us, and saying, oh, your content is a little rough, so we're not going to pay you money anymore. Folks, this channel used to be supported by the ad revenue. Guess what? Now they run ads. We get no revenue. How the fuck does that work? Literally, folks, 5 years ago, we made 5 times the amount of ad revenue it paid for the channel. Not so much anymore. It paid for a lot of stuff. We used to give to charity. We used to do some giveaways. We used to have a lot more fun. We used to pay for a lot, folks, of subscription service to news organizations because we had extra money. Now, no. So I really hope these people go after Media Matters and then go after social media companies so that they have to actually fucking do what they're supposed to do, right? Fair business practices, instead of saying, well, since you're a bad person and you speak conservative news, we're not going to let you make any money. How the fuck is that right? Well, there's a lot of stuff that isn't right. Oh, by the way, it is Monday Madness, and I want you to get your questions down below to Mr. Uman. because, folks, it's important to get questions down below. After 30 minutes, I go from my monologue to your questions. Now, I said there's a lot of stuff that isn't going right. Well, here we are. We've been hearing about the United States Supreme Court. They've been actually making some good rulings. They got rid of Roe v. versus Wade and just poof, bitch slapped it off the table. All of these anti-gun legislations, they've poof, knocked that shit off the table. But then this comes up. Former police officer, disgraced police officer, Derek Chauvin, his appeal to have his conviction reconsidered was rejected. No reason was given, just no further comments. I'll tell you what, there's some interesting thoughts here about this, though, because there's another lawsuit that's going on up there in Minnesota. Among the documents and testimonies from another case, not the Chauvin case, not the Chauvin St. George Floyd case, but there were other documents and testimonies in another case up there discussing the Officer Chauvin and Floyd murder case. And the plaintiff in this case discussed a crucial conversation that she had with a county medical examiner. This guy's name was Dr. Andrew Baker. And this crucial conversation came one day after St. George Floyd died. So Dr. Baker, the Hennepin County medical examiner, reportedly said, and this has become testimony in a court case, that there was, quote, no medical findings that showed any injury to the vital structure of Mr. Floyd's neck. There were no medical indications of asphyxia or strangulation. In other words, there was nothing external that caused him to stop breathing and die. Now, Tucker Carlson has grabbed this. We mentioned it yesterday, but he scooped us with his very powerful opinion. And he stated, quote, and this is in reference to the medical examiner's alleged, quoted statement. Tucker Carlson said, in other words, George Floyd, according to the official autopsy, was not murdered. He died instead of what we used to call natural causes, which in his case would include decades of drug use, as well as the fatal concentration of fentanyl that was in his system on his final day. So this was not a killing. It was yet another narcotics overdose in a country that records more than 100,000 of them every year. The medical examiner clearly understood that and, in fact, articulated it. So we're seeing some good court cases. We're seeing a little bit of justice. People are waking up, but you have to get louder. You have to keep being loud and waking people up. Talking to you guys out here. We have to keep it up. Don't expect justice when violent terrorists are rioting, burning, looting, and murdering on the streets, because district attorneys, folks, will lie to keep their jobs. They will hide evidence. They'll be chicken shits extraordinaire and let injustice be served to the innocent. Meanwhile, they'll look at the guilty and give them the opposite. They will turn a blind eye to justice and allow crime to continue. Once again, burning, looting, and murdering. Also, the Supreme Court of the United States are cowards, not wanting justice served, but the appearance is what we have of them supporting BLM woke terrorist agenda, because they don't want to take a look at the Floyd Chauvin case. The information is stunning, but nope, we don't want to talk about it. The injustice that goes on in this country, folks. If the Supreme Court isn't going to stick up for both our constitutional rights and, well, our constitutional rights under law, right? In law, in criminal law, then what the fuck is the point? Here we are, folks. Here we are. Now, this morning I talked about Marines whipping some ass on some thugs. I'm sure there's some trouble. I'm sure there's going to be trouble for some of those Marines who engaged in fighting. I think it's self-defense, but I bet a few of them are going to get some NJP. It happens. But on the other hand, you know, who knows, folks? This country's fucked up. But I am glad that those vigilant Marines protected themselves, protected each other, and protected the general public from a bunch of pussy-ass thugs. Well, why pussy-ass? Well, I'll tell you right now. Right? One guy hit one Marine 3 or 4 times. He was outside the crowd and was punching in at this Marine. And finally, the Marine got an arm free, hit the guy, and knocked him to the freaking asphalt with one punch. I watched it a few more times just for fun. And I want to remind all the communist pussies out there that there are a shitload of patriots, soldiers, Marines, and maybe even a few Vikings out there who wouldn't mind stomping you guys in a boxing ring. So go ahead and step right up and take an ass whipping for your communist buddies. It's coming, folks. I have no love for these idiots. I have no love for these idiots. And all the gays out there, you're dumbasses. All the lefties, you're dumbasses. The pro-Palestinians, pro-Hamas terrorists are coming after Democrats. And you think they won't throw gays off our rooftops? You're out of your fucking minds. In Indonesia, folks. Well, that sounds almost like Asia. Yeah, it's over by Asia. Indonesia. It's full of Muslims. And they protested the rock group or music group Coldplay. They protested it. Hundreds of them came out and said those guys are a bunch of LGBTQ propagandists. But queers for Palestine. They're our buddies. Now, the only thing the queers got right in that is the butt. And that's where they're going to get it when they get their butts kicked and worse. It is coming. They invited the enemy into the country, and they're going to pay the price, folks. They're going to pay the price. They truly are. Did you hear about the Palestinian flag that was flown over a high school in Oakland? Why is a school, a public institution, flying the flag of another quasi-nation that is run and dominated by terrorists? What the fuck message is that? If I saw a flag, any other flag, when I went to school, I'm sure we would have ripped that fucking thing down. American flag, state flag. Hello. It's called flag etiquette. I tell you what, folks, I want to end my my monologue. Get your questions in. Get them ready. We got Jolene here. We got Man here, and it is time to go with your questions. But first, I want to go to another school, this time in Georgia. The school violated its violence and weapons policy. This has resulted in a young girl stabbed, slashed many times with a knife. Folks, in America, bullying white kids and nearly murdering them. That's allowed in America by Democrat schools. Thank you, critical race theory. Thank you, BLM racists. Thank you, pink-haired, green-haired, blue-haired, pink-haired, yellow-haired, green-haired, purple-haired, blue-haired, fruitcake, fruit salad, non-binary teachers. Now, here's what was said by the attorney for the girl who is now suing the school district. It's not a choice. It's required that administrators conduct an investigation. Investigation? What's this about? Well, the girl that stabbed this girl and slashed her face up She was threatening people and bullying people and had a knife in school, and the teachers did nothing about it. It's required that administrators, according to the family attorney, Andrew Gould, it's required that administrators conduct an investigation, and it's required that a student who brings a dangerous weapon onto campus be expelled, not just given detention, not just given sentences to write, not just given a suspension, expelled, kicked out of the school for the school year, done. So the attorney says these things were not done, so even the most basic initial step, an investigation, would have prevented the attack from occurring. And so now a girl has lifelong scars. She's completely traumatized by this attack. Because white kids are bad. European descendant kids are bad. America's bad. Thank you, critical race theory. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Every white idiot, every black idiot, every brown idiot, every Asian idiot, every other idiot on the planet. Thank you for being idiots and pushing this on America. You're destroying this country. But wait a minute, that's exactly what you want. It is, folks. That's what they want. So let's move on if we shall. Let's go to the inner circle. All right, Mr. Uman. Okay, Jolene. It's the fun time. It's happy fun time. I've got a lot more stuff to talk about, but I know I could just go all the way to the end. So let's stop here and read from Name Redacted. He says, John, hey, I listen to a lot of content. I think the negative comments you and others are getting are, in fact, agents of the other side and GSEs. I'm noticing that they have been having effect. Yes, we have AI, we have bots, we have agents, government employees, we have left-wing activists who come into the comment section and try and push away others, dissuade others. They call people names. It's what we call trolls, right? Trolls. They are agents of the other side, agents of government, and they want us silenced. They're fucking cowards. Now, in the arena of ideas, if they had better ideas, people would go listen to them, would they not? If they were more entertaining, people would go listen to them. If they made a lick of fucking sense, people would go listen to them. But what are they going to do, folks? What are they going to talk about? Well, a typical Democrat would talk about how they love abortion and they think everyone should get one. A typical Democrat would say, we need more Satanists in schools. A typical Democrat would say, we need more drag queens in school. We need more boys pretending to be girls in the girls' bathrooms. We need more of that. We need the border to be opened even more. We need to take more of the money away from ourselves and give it to illegals who are here and have done nothing to contribute and will do nothing to contribute because now they're welfare cases, a bunch of entitled illegal scumbags. That's why no one wants to listen to them, folks. Now, we talk about it here, not just to talk about it, but to catalog and document what is happening so that we can understand how we're continuing to sink lower and lower into the pits of hell on earth. SHTF. We use it as evidence that we need to be prepared, and we use it as fuel to push others to push back on government. Government needs to be told to get the fuck back where it belongs, to get out of our lives and do its job. If you read the Constitution, there's very, very, very few actual things the government at the national level is supposed to do. And defending the borders from illegal invasion is one of them. Providing a strong military is basically one of them. There's not much more, folks. But they've used the Interstate Commerce Clause as the justification for federal authority over and between the states. Isn't that interesting? Anyways, yeah, they have been having an effect, name redacted. How do you stop them? How do you silence them? Well, you call them out. Hey, it's a government agent. Such and such is a government agent. This guy is a rat. This guy's an you can call him some names like, this is an unconstitutional socialist communist. This guy's a fascist, right? I don't know what else to call them, but they're there, right? They're trying to have a negative effect. They're trying to tell people, hey, we're watching you. Hey, we'll come after you. This is who they are. And nobody likes them. These people, can you imagine that being your job? That's your job. I'm paid to go piss on America. Well, fuck, that sounds like half the government, if not more. Their job is to fuck America up. What a bunch of scumbags. Literally, what a bunch of carpet-bagging scumbags who make 6 figures a year, full benefits, paid vacations to destroy America. Unbelievable. They're fucking laughing every day, folks, as they shit all over us and get paid really well to do it. All right, man, Jolene, who is up next? And it is Mikey G checking in. He says, Communist Control Act of 1954. It was signed into law by President Dwight D. Eisenhower, August 24th, 1954. Communist Control Act of 1954. Go look it up, folks. Being a communist should be a total punishable offense, a crime. And I think communism should be well defined. And it's easy to define, folks. Anyone who wants communism and socialism, because they are one and the same, interchangeable, by the, shall we say, philosophical inventor of communism and socialism, he used them interchangeably, the same way, the same word, Karl Marx. Read it. Go read the Communist Control Act of 1954 and see what it's about. See how Americans used to think about these disgusting, filthy people. And because the governments did not prosecute them, did not put them away, they are now here in our country, in charge, trying to destroy our country from the inside. I mean, get this. In Washington, D.C., pro-Hamas terrorist supporters vandalized Union Station. They put their red handprints on stuff. They put like blood. Blood is on your hands, America. Well, what the fuck do you think the terrorists have got on their hands besides red paint? It's red blood. But the pressure is building, and terrorism is coming to America. If you think for just a second that the movie The Purge was bad, where it was once a year they let people out and destroy your political enemies, wait until The Purge is 365 days a year. Wait until you don't have any clue what's coming. Well, until it comes, no warning, they just start committing acts of terror. There will need to be a change in this country, folks, a change of heart, a change of attitude, a change in the way people speak. And I'll tell you what, in my book, if you are a terrorist, then the family you live with are terrorist supporters, and they've committed a crime for doing such a thing. How can someone in a family living in the same house not know the person they're with is a terrorist? And there are terrorist networks in this country, folks. They're here right now. All right, Jolene, let's do it. Let's see who's up next. We got lots to talk about. We got name redacted. And he says they no longer screech freedom of speech. It's part of their war strategy to starve their enemies and competing voices. Yeah. It used to be, hey, man, that's my free speech. Right? The stupid, stinking hippies of the 60s. And then the 70s, man, I can say what I want. I'm going to go call the military guys baby killers because that's wrong. And now they're like, we think babies should die, man. Fucking idiots. Now killing babies is good. I wonder if old stinking smelly hippies like Hillary Clinton should be out there apologizing to veterans for calling them baby killers. Because now she's for baby killing. Yes, she is. You bet she is. But their war strategy, their agenda, their domestic agenda to destroy America includes silencing us. As you say, starving our voices, starving our ability to fight back. Years ago, they realized they can't stop our Second Amendment. Illinois, the great state of Illinois, has demonstrated that, well, fuck Governor Pritzker and his gun control, his gun registration crap. No one, hardly no one, I don't even know what the percentage is. It's a very small percentage. You, man, maybe you can put the percentage up. Percentage of people who complied with their registration requirement. Fuck the government when it comes to them violating our rights. You are under no obligation to obey a statute or rule from the government that violates your rights. See, God, people, Declaration of Independence, Constitution. Constitution created a government. The government passes rules and statutes, but our right up here to create a government and constitution. Our rights created a government, a constitution and government. Our people created through our rights the constitution and government, which then makes rules and statutes. Well, who has to obey rules and statutes? Those who are subject to a government's authority. It's not me. The only authority government has is to punish crime. But instead, they've decided they can legislate crime and then come and punish us for it. Fuck them, idiots. Okay, Jolene, let's move along. It's a chicken and the egg thing. It's a circular argument on their part. Well, if we have the authority to pass laws and punish crime, then we'll just make whatever we want a crime and then punish you and take your rights. See how that works? They use our rights to justify the existence of government. And then they create laws to take away our rights. Fuck you, DC. And even the state governments, too. State governments are no more powerful. They're just more local. Okay, Jolene, please throw it up there. It says, oh, here we are. This is from the Appalachian American through Subscribestar. That's right. If you're on YouTube watching this video, you should have watched it and been here live on Subscribestar.com or thepreparedmind.club, C-L-U-B. Anyways, here it is from Appalachian American. There is so much going on to keep up with. We still need to watch close here at home. We have an election here in Kentucky in November. I believe our last governor election was a test for the 2020 presidential election. Our wonderful LGBTQ trans-loving governor was losing until a late-night vote dump. Need to watch it close this time. I'm telling you, yeah. They did the same thing for the governor's race in Kentucky that they did in 2020. They shut the machines off, turned off the lights, flipped the switches, clicked the breakers, and then clicked the breakers, flipped the switches, turned on the lights, and how about that? We now have an anti-American, fruitcake, perverted scumbag for governor. I would have never guessed the state of Kentucky, the great state of Kentucky, would want a bunch of perverted child molesters in government. Because that's what they are. They want to molest children, folks. They call it minor attracted persons. And this concept is pushed through the schools with their LGB porn books and their drag queen lunch hours. They are really, really, really sick, folks. And I mean really sick. Now, of course, and maybe in a state like Kentucky, they won't admit it openly the way someone like Gavin or Newsom would. Yeah, Gavin Newsom, what a pile of shit he is, huh? All right, let us step up on to see who is next. Get up on your soapbox. Who is it? Hey, it's Who-Man. And he said, my biggest concern about the election is that everyone will start screaming red wave. Well, Trump is ahead by 10 points, but I don't call that a wave, folks. I don't call that a wave at all. I am completely fearful. Everyone has to vote. Everyone, if possible, needs to participate in making this election real and holding election personnel accountable. That everyone should be monitored, because we have heard from the Democrats that they will lie, they will cheat, and they will steal, and they are very public about it. And they're willing to go to prison over it, folks. So, again, and the lazy Republicans will think, we got this. They'll stay home and they'll snatch defeat out of the arms of victory again. That's just it. Now, I mean, if I can recount some of 2020, up in the state of Wisconsin, they had more people voting than there were people in the fucking counties in several places. Many places had more than were registered votes. Some of them had more votes cast than fucking people living at the time in the counties. How is that even allowed? That county should be sued for submitting those numbers into the vote count. And whatever their vote count was, it should be removed from the state total, and that county should have to re-vote. And if the election is that close, they may say, hey, we'll have to hold up. We're going to have to hold up announcing who won this. Now, it's amazing to me how my whole fucking life, and before me, back through history, on election night, people counted by hand the ballots to see, and they would tally that shit up. And they would have an answer sent to the state capitol that night. And now with computers and automated machinery, they can't get the count right. That's going to take days and days to do a recount. Why? The entire thing is a fucking scam. That's why. If anyone believes elections in this country are free and fair, and that an election can occur and that votes can be counted in an unmolested manner, well, I'll tell you right now, every fucking vote is molested. You could go out and do your job and vote 100% Republican down the line. And many people do. And your votes could all get switched over to Democrats. Why? Oh, because of a software error that they put in there intentionally so they could flip a switch, hit a button, and have it go over. Why the fuck is that even allowed? How can this even be allowed to go on? People in the state government have a responsibility. At the county level, they have a responsibility. And they are all scum. Every last one of them, for allowing that to happen. If it happens in their counties, in their states, it needs to be prosecuted, not just as a crime, but as treason. It should be a federal felony, a crime against the nation to cheat in an election. It should. I remember when George H.W. Bush, the dad, when Daddy Bush was running, and it was very close, and they were having trouble, all of a sudden having trouble counting military ballots. Remember that military ballot stuff? Same with Bob Dole. Bob Dole should have won. Bob Dole against the Clinton guy, right? Well, right? They were saying, well, we can't disenfranchise the military votes. And the states were like, there's not very many of them. We don't need to worry about them. Clinton's the winner. They'll do anything they can to discount people, to put people away, right? It's incredible. They're just, the fucking people in government are scum, folks. I don't know if I can say it. I want it to sound dirtier. I want it to sound really dirty, these scum people. All right, well, let's move on before the scum fills up the room. Jolene, ooh, man, we've got Michael Brown. Equal opportunity shit kicker. You bet, man. I tell you what, Michael, if a communist from up north, up in the New England area, wants to have his ass kicked, I'll see if you and some of the other boys want to have some fun with him. No one's taken me up on the offer yet. I doubt they will. They're cowards. They're chicken shits. I got Jolene, I got your private message. Wow. Okay. Well, that's just too bad. You know, there are idiots in this country, folks. There are lots of idiots. And I'm tired of them. I'm sick and tired of their bullshit. They think that they're special. Every American should be the same. They think that because they belong to a protected class that they should count more. They don't. They want to make fun of you and call you bad names. But if you make fun of them, they want to throw a fit. They want to call you a hate person. They're just done with them. I'm done with them. You need to stand up. Hey, if you don't like something I say, I get it. I see people in the comment section when I go read them. They say some stupid shit all the time, pisses me off. But I'm like, hey, they're not violating any of our rules, right? You want to call me a dingbat, a dingbat, ding dong? I don't give a shit, right? But then there is that line that can get crossed. Right? You can call me a dumbass Gen Xer if you want. I don't give a fuck. But this is about freedom and liberty. Attacking other people in the comment section, I don't really like, and I think Uman doesn't allow that either. You know, I got pretty thick skin. But I'm sick and tired of these people. These far left, socialist, anti-American scumbags. Kind of like this guy here. His name is Dan Goldman. And he says that President Trump, quote, has to be eliminated. This guy was a guest on MSNBC. Remember that dumb redheaded broad who used to work for Joe Biden? Jen Psaki. Circle back, circle jerk, Psaki. She has this guy on news, and they don't like Trump. They don't like him talking. They don't like you talking. But to me, it sounds like a threat when he says Trump has to be eliminated. Now, when it comes to political talk, you say defeated. You don't say eliminated. If I said communists need to be eliminated, wouldn't that sound like a threat? I think they need to be rounded up, arrested, and kicked out of the country. Or go spend a couple of, decades in Leavenworth and get their heads right. America is about freedom, Jack. Freedom. Anyways. Alrighty, let's have some more fun. Thank you, Jen Psaki. Wow, what a winner she was. I'll circle back to that later. I swore she was the dumbest presidential press secretary. I thought she was. I didn't think anyone could be dumber than her until Karine Jean-Pierre showed up with that ridiculous looking expression on her face of deer in the headlights, I'm an idiot, lost at every question. Wow. Okay, Jolene, where are we going next? We got Kevin. He says, just finished, quote, The White Pill. This is a detailed history of the Union of Soviet Socialist Republics, the USSR, Soviet Russia, Communist Russia. This is a detailed history of USSR from Lenin to Gorbachev. I knew the USSR was bad, but not how bad. Another part of the book is the lies and tactics. Those lies and tactics are here now. The book ends with details of how it all collapsed, how the Soviet Union and communism collapsed. Those things that ended the USSR are active, and that's encouraging. It is interesting to me, and thank you, Kevin, very much. Yes, the things that the Soviets, that communists wanted to do, they're active now. They're trying to take control. At the same time, simultaneously, concurrently, the things that destroyed communism are also active. So rather than riding the train all the way to the top with communism before you get to the fall, we're going up part way and we're taking a shortcut over to not in my fucking lifetime. That's good. You know who's responsible for that? Well, books like The White Pill. I know people like you, people like us who speak up, who make sure these idiots are put in their place. Right? The people that scream, "My free speech, man," and then tell you got to be quiet. You're hurting people's feelings. It's stupid. Stupid. I lived through the end of the hippie era, into the 80s, and I watched and witnessed these freaks, these spoiled punk bitches, the children of the boomers, take control of this country and ride it into the fucking ground. And my generation, Gen X, I'm not completely proud of it, nor I'm less proud of millennials, less proud of what comes after that. But it's, folks, the country is going to be won. It is going to be freed by people like you and me who love America, The same way in 1776, the people who loved America and loved freedom were willing to fight for it. The 3%ers, supported by, well, about 17%. They were willing to fight for it. The rest were a bunch of fucking sellouts and wash up, just losers. Absolute losers. Here we are, folks. We've got that fight right here in front of us. Jolene, who is up next? Who do we got? We got Sally Sue. Thanks for checking in, Sally Sue. She says on social media, "I'm hearing lefties complain about not being able to afford their accustomed luxuries. Their favorite scapegoat explanation is late-stage capitalism. Thoughts?" Fucking jerk-offs. Of course they are. These fucking worthless left-wing hippie reject dumbass sons of bitches, socialist communist fucksticks. They're going to blame inflation on capitalism. No, it is a socialist bent nation with more and more progressive taxation going up. And they're using Keynesian economics and modern monetary theory, which is not modern. It is just money printing. And it's not a theory, folks. It's a well-proved, articulated understanding that when you print money, it creates inflation. The money supply creates inflation, and the government has been printing money and passing it out. I'm just waiting for the helicopter to fly over the bunker and drop a sack of cash on me. I'll take my chances with it injuring me, right? Just drop a couple million, right? Not going to happen. But they'll drop millions and billions on ridiculous special interest groups, corporations, and government programs. Late stage capitalism? No, it is socialism. It is also, drumroll please, social fascism. That is the government and media and corporations enlisting one another's help and services. In other words, what does a corporation provide? Money. What does the media provide? An agenda and a cover story. And what does the government provide? The authority to take the money from corporations and turn it into something that benefits the corporations by giving them contracts, lucrative contracts. And the media says, oh, and you little people, you need some money too. So then they tax the working middle class, send the money to the government, use the media to say that's a good thing to do. And then the corporation says, we're woke too. And so then they send the money to a bunch of worthless, non-producing scumbags, including people who've come across the border illegally. Anyways, yeah, it's interesting, and I'm glad, Sally Sue, that you're hearing that these left-wing idiots are not being able to afford their lives. Oh, we're so blessed to live in America and be able to be taxed so badly that we can't afford a can of Spam. Well, enjoy your socialism, fuckheads. I'll be fighting for liberty and freedom. Thank you, Sally Sue. I think we got one more question out there, and it's Uman. He says, as of last week, less than 3,000 gun owners registered their assault weapons. That is estimated to be less than 1.1%. Less than 0.1%. And the deadline is December 30th. Hope everyone sticks to their guns. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge, say no more. Hope everyone sticks to their guns and keeps refusing. Fuck you, Governor Prickster. Fuck you, Assembly in Illinois. And fuck you, Senate in Illinois. And oh yeah, and fuck you, Supreme Court of Illinois. All of you, all of those government entities and persons can go fuck themselves. I'm that sick and tired of these people. They know they're violating our rights. They know it. And they're like, we're going to pass these piece of shit lies and call them laws. And then make people fight us in court and possibly fight us in the streets. The government is, in a manner of speaking, declaring war on its own people by stealing their rights. And that's why I don't have any problem saying, you know what? No more Mr. Nice Guy. Now you're going to deal with America. America, the land of the free, the home of the brave. I guess we're going to find out exactly how free and how brave that is. Godspeed, God bless, Semper Fi, and chance favors the prepared mind is yours.